Hey, hey, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another week, another day, another Tuesday. Feels like a Monday to me. We were traveling yesterday for baseball, of course. What else? It's either baseball or running, right? So yesterday felt like Sunday and today feels like Monday, but it's Tuesday, so that's good news, right? It's going to be another one of those short weeks. Now, having said that, I feel already like I'm a little bit behind. You know how short weeks do that to us. Hey, Betty. Okay, let's get started warming up. Beautiful sunny day out. I'm feeling the lack of connection to the outdoors. It is amazing. I'm just going to say, there is such a cathartic, soothing, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but when we are connected with nature, and it doesn't really matter if it's good or bad weather, but you know, I tend to spend a lot of time outdoors. Now, yesterday I didn't start the clock. Yesterday, we'll go right into Marches. Yesterday it was miserable where we were at. We were in Michigan, Howell, Michigan, for a baseball game, showcase, whatever. The weather was miserable. So basically it was like sit in the truck as long as possible and then put on every layer, bundle up in a blanket, and curl up in a chair and wait till the game is over and try to stay warm. So not really the most connected feeling to nature, like a walk would have been a good idea, right? I mean, the best way to stay warm is to move, but I did not. I sat on my butt yesterday way too much, way too long. Feeling it today, feeling stiff. When they say movement is medicine, it is true, which is a great segue to, as we're going through this warm-up, to be mindful and aware of how your body is feeling today. So mine is feeling stiff and stiff and a little bit old, not old, sore, a little bit sore. I did a pretty heavy, hard workout on Sunday before we left and then just sat. And you know, sitting has got to be one of the most toxic things that we can do for ourselves. Sitting and how we eat. We literally toxify ourselves on the daily, and we, funny enough, think of those things as relaxation and therapeutic. Like, how many of us think of a nice drink of alcohol, a glass of wine, whatever your drink of choice is, as a way to wind down, right? When literally we're putting poison in our body. How many of us think of exercise as like a chore or work, when really it is a method to restore and give back to our body, right? So there's a lot of like mindset shifts that we need to make when it comes to coming in here and what we're doing in here. And I start with that because I want to give you permission right off the bat as we're starting to listen to your body and go with how it feels. So you might feel like, you might feel a little tired and sort of overworked and run down. And in which case you might want to take it a little bit easier and go with your body. Like, one of the keys, I think, to moving forward in life in anything we do is slow down to speed up. And the way you do that is by removing resistance, right? Like, there's so much resistance in between us and our goals so many times, often stemming from the way we think. But regardless, there's like I think of it as a physical wall, or think of it as moving through mud, right? Like, you're trying to move through mud towards your goals. If you can actually dry up that mud into a solid dirt road, you can move to your goals a lot easier and quicker, right? Than when you're sludging through this like resistance, this feeling of resistance. And so I'm adding a hop, and this is the first, way that you can adjust if you need to by just keeping it at marches. If you're ready for a hop, if it feels good and you're feeling, inclined into the hop, then add the hop. But if you're not, then it's just as effective to keep it at the marches. It's going to actually be more effective if you move, like I said, with your body, not against your body. And the easiest way to create forward progress with less effort is to, instead of pushing harder, to remove the resistance. And the resistance is often going to come from our minds, like our heads, right? And that resistance is the way we think and the, you know, our, what's the word? I want to say our attitudes, but I had a better word of it. I can't think of it. Our attitudes towards the project at hand, right? So if your attitude is, it's going to be hard, it's going to be hurt, it's not going to be enjoyable, I can't wait till it's over, I just got to go put in the time, right? Then you have created literally, you know, a mud pit beneath your feet to move through as you're executing that task, right? And so if you can change your approach, thinking of a bat, an approach at bat, too much baseball, change your approach at bat, right? You change your approach, you change your execution, right? So change your approach to, you know what, I'm doing this. Why am I doing this in the first place? Because I want to feel better. Like, you know, yeah, I want to look better. But why are you really doing it? You're really doing it because you want to feel better. And in order to feel better, you got to move your body. You got to strengthen your body. You got to restore mobility to your body. And you got to take care of your body, right? So you're not doing it because you have to, or because, you know, your mom told you, somebody told you to. Like, when those are the reasons that we apply to the things we do, there's an automatic feeling of resistance, you know. And it's funny because I was explaining to my husband the other day, this is the first year, 2023, where those reasons have been real to me, right? And so, like, in the past, it was like I always told myself, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, but what I wanted was to want to do it, right? But I actually didn't want to, because I was doing everything for the wrong reasons. And this year, and you guys have heard me talk about this before, it changed when I got into Hard Rock 100-mile mountain race. When my name got selected in that lottery, all of a sudden everything I was doing was because I wanted to, right? Because I wanted that experience, and I wanted that experience, wanted to respect that experience and be as prepared as possible for it. And because of that, all my choices were coming from a place of genuine, you know, desire to be better, versus a responsibility, a feeling of responsibility to be better. And so that is what I would suggest for you if you're getting started, or maybe you've been at it for a while like me. I mean, I've been at it all my life. 46 years old I was when I got into the Hard Rock 100 race. And my 47th year of life has been the most mind-blowing one in terms of application of, you know, good reasoning behind it. Like, which meant that when I was out in Hard Rock, and I was out at the Divide 200 this year, there was a genuine sense of peace and enjoyment with me almost the entire time. Through the suffering, through the pain, through the discomfort. But when there's a genuine sense of peace, acceptance, you know, faith, and like just wanting to be there and do that thing, what you may have perceived as pain, suffering, discomfort in the past is not, right? And so it goes to show you that so much of how we feel is here. It's not real, right? It's what we decide it is. Am I making any sense to you guys at all? So, like, I'm thinking in my mind, if you are going through something right now in your life, whether it pertains to your health, like pertains to your fitness, pertains to your nutrition, illness, or perhaps, you know, you're going through somebody else, a loved one is going through illness, or maybe it's a financial issue, or you're going through a divorce, or loss of job, or whatever it is, right? You're going through something. Know that the perception is bigger than the thing of it itself, right? Like, so, I kind of lost like my way there for a second. But anyway, I'm saying, I read a quote this morning, of course I'm forgetting, it was a super short quote, but it's like, it's something about starting over. It's a great time to start over. I didn't even know, but I literally read it like probably a dozen times this morning. Came into my inbox, and there's a few things in my life that feel like new beginnings, and they're scary to me, you guys. Like, I can't even. They're daunting, and there is that resistance for me. And I keep thinking, you know, I kind of want to turtle. It's my husband and I call it when our kids, you know, shy away from something. We call it turtling. Okay, I should have written this down. We're going to start with squats today. And I want to start with, I had a specific squat press. Now, I'm in a full disclosure. I have buggered up my shoulder. Some of you might remember last week when we were doing those shoulder exercises. This shoulder is still really not happy with me. So, on that note, I'm going to start with the 30-pound ball. I'm going to start with this guy. All right, so we're going to start with squat pressing, okay? We're going to do 10. So, if you are new, just starting, don't lift a weight. Just go body weight, and you're just going to squat down and press up with your hands. You can use 2 light weights, any weight that you like, really, dumbbells, or you can grab one weight. So I'm going to see how my shoulder feels on this. And so we're going to squat, press. Now what I want you to think of doing is pressing. As you press the weight up, you're pressing from the legs. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you've been at this for a while, I want to encourage you to go heavy, because I want you to use your legs to drive that weight up, not your arms. Okay, so if you're going too light, you're going to lift with your arms, which is perfectly fine. But we want to pull in some power into the legs. Okay, next up, we are muchly focusing, that is not a word, on the posterior chain today. So I'm going to grab a kettlebell. We're going to do RDLs. I'm going to start with the green today. Okay, so you're starting. RDLs is Romanian deadlift. You're going to drive. This is the best cue. Drive your butt backwards like you're closing a door. Okay, so 10, close that door. 9, 8, 7, chest is up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. Okay, the next one, I'm going to use my weights. 1 second here while I set this up for myself. So we're working on posterior chain, it's called, which is basically the chain of muscles that runs along the back side of your body, from your back, really all the way down to your feet, your calves, your hamstrings, glutes, and back specifically. Now what I want you to do at home is find a step that you have close by. What we're going to do is split squats, and we're going to do them with our front foot elevated. You can use a step. You can use, probably that's going to be your best bet. I'm using 2 weights here. My steps are over there into my garage. So I'm going to make my own here. And we're going to do 10 per side. And you can hold a weight or not hold a weight if you are new. I'm going to actually try 2 weights today. We'll start low and go up if necessary. Okay, so we're going 10, 9, whoops, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, if you don't have any kind of step or anything to step on, that's okay. You can do these without elevating that front leg. You're still going to be working those muscles. The elevating the front leg is going to target your glutes and hamstring a little bit more. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? That is our first round. So that is, we're starting with squats. The squats are kind of targeting everything, our whole body. They're going to get our heart rate up a little bit if we're squat pressing a fairly substantial weight. My heart rate is up from these guys. My socks are also very slippy today. All right, so we're going to go back to squat press. We're going to do that round. We're going to do that round 4 times today. We usually do sets of 3, but okay. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we sped up a little bit the tempo on that one. I'm going a little heavier this time with our RDLs. So with your RDLs, Romanian deadlifts, you want the weight between your feet, not hanging out in front of you. So you don't want your weight out in front of you. You're going to feel that much more in the lower back. You want it between the legs. Like I said, you're going to think of closing a door with your bum. I read that cue online and I thought that is brilliant. Okay, 10. So we're starting with the weight up, shoulders are up, back and down, closing the door. 10, 9, 8, 7, keeping a slight bend in the knee, but keeping those legs mostly straight. 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. Okay. I know I'm getting into these muscles right here because this is where I'm feeling it. And then we're back to our, I'm going to try the heavier ones this time. Potentially going to be dropping to the lower ones. It is get strong season. For me, it is off season. Okay, ready? So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, woo! Get your balance. 4, 3, 2, last one, and we're switching sides after I give myself a quick break here. When you go heavy, you need longer breaks. Just gonna say that. If you're a beginner, you're gonna do all of these really with no weights, okay? In the beginning. Remember what I said at the start of the workout. What we're doing here is removing resistance. We're understanding mindfully first, or mentally first, that we're giving back to the body. Even though it's hard work, even though it's going to make you uncomfortable. 3, 2, it is restorative work that we're doing here in the gym. So restorative doesn't always have to look like you know, woo-woo, you know, soft music, meditative, restorative and rejuvenative to me is anything that's going to build you up. If you're building up strength of your body, you're making your body more resilient. Your body is going to be more resistant to injury, illness, fatigue, all those things, right? Okay, I'm going heavier for the next 2 sets with my squat press. So it doesn't mean it can't feel uncomfortable or feel hard, but knowing that you're actually building your body up in here. All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more, 2, the last 1. All right, catch your breath, we're going back to RDLs. I think sometimes, you know, we think of uncomfortable, unpleasant things as things that are not good for us, right? It's interesting because some of the most pleasurable things in the moment are the most toxic things in the long run, right? Like a glass of wine is really dang good in the moment, but what does it do to our bodies repeated over time for long-term? Terrible things, right? Terrible things. I'm not telling you not to drink, honestly. Just saying, change your mindset around knowing, it's a guilty pleasure, and this is I can't reverse that. Okay, I'm stalling here. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. Okay. Back to these guys. I got a seriously tight butt right now. All right, so think about it this way. If you can shift your perception of discomfort to maybe not even attaching that word to it, right? Like this is gonna sound really woo-woo and crazy, but I've come to realize that a lot of the things that I used to think were uncomfortable are actually very spiritual, for lack of a better word. So I'm gonna use that word because I'm talking about being in the forest where things can be uncomfortable sometimes. Being outside in the mountains where things can get uncomfortable sometimes. We're gonna do one more because I lost count. Weather can be uncomfortable. You know, terrain can be uncomfortable. You can be tired, that's uncomfortable. And what I've realized is in those moments, it's where I feel the most connected to something real. It's the best way I can describe it. Now, some of you, if you are, you know, religious, you might say that's where you connect to God. You know, some of you might be like, well, that's where you connect to, you know, spirit energy or the universe, energy of the universe, right? Like there's a higher power. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Some of you might think I'm just crazy right now, but here's what I've noticed is when you connect to that realness, so, you know, a lighter way of saying it is like first date versus, you know, you're truly comfortable with someone. Think about on a first date, how you show up. You are, you know, you put your best face forward. Like that's the forest on a beautiful, sunny, mild day. It's putting its best foot forward. It's easy to love the forest and the outdoors and the trails and the mountains when conditions are really pleasant, right? It's easy to feel joy. It's easy to feel happy. Where it is going to challenge you is when it gets uncomfortable, because it's easy to recoil from that and say, I don't like this, which is what I did for years. And this past year, I realized that's where things get really real. And you feel them at a depth that you don't feel them when they're putting their best foot forward, right? When you really get to know somebody, you know, think about, that's really crazy now. You're dating somebody, you know, everything's great, happy, joy. You have your first fight. Think about the depth of feeling you have when you make up from that fight, because you've just connected to that person or gotten to know that person on a deeper level. You feel like they're more real to you, right? And that's the forest. And whether you want to call that God or spirit energy or universal energy or just realness, when you can make that shift to things that are uncomfortable, okay, let's go, I'm stalling again. All of a sudden, things aren't, you're not resistant to them anymore, because you're like, those things make me feel. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but that is 5. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2. Sometimes we get stuck living very superficially in life. We get stuck in the chaos, we get stuck in the motions of life, the movement through life, the responsibilities, the chores, right? And we forget that all of that is very superficial and truly unimportant. What's unimportant, what's most important is the stuff beneath all of that, where there's, you know, perspective and meaning and understanding. Those are just the things we're doing because we're living on this planet. Oh my God, what is going on today? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Anyway, I might not be making sense, but you gotta trust me and stick with this stuff long enough and you'll get what I'm saying. But it's like when you can actually connect to that on the deeper level, which is what happened to me this year, out in the woods, I realized that is where the uncomfortable becomes comfortable because I'm at home with it. And it's like, I think if you're spiritual at all, this might be a lot for a workout. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Understand in this movement, your front leg is the one that's working. I just kind of got into a place where I was working my hind leg. It's your front leg that's doing the work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Whew. I'm gonna leave all my spiritual talk there for today, but hopefully I've given you something to think about. Because connecting to the uncomfortable is what I'm going to call it, and realizing that that is where the true essence of life lies, is a game changer. across the board, because all of a sudden things that challenge you, that, you know, tend to cause you anxiety and panic and stress, anger, and all those bad emotions, all of a sudden does not anymore. You feel equipped and ready and like, I got this. Okay, so that's enough for today, because I'm probably boring you to tears. But as you can tell, probably I'm working through some things of my own. Okay, so we're gonna, God help us, we're gonna do, speaking of spirit energy, God help us, in these lunges this way. Okay, so I'm gonna drop my weights down for my first round and give these a shot. Okay, so remember the work involved is on your front leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Okay, switching legs. Remember I said I hate these? So we're gonna conquer them this year. If you hate them, I'm sorry, but you're 2, 3, 4, 5, oops, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Okay. Oy. We're going to go back into a squat, laterally this time. Move these out of the way. I'm stalling again to create a little bit of time here. These are also going to work kind of our glutes and hamstrings, but help to, I'm just moving these so I have some space, create a little bit of range of motion into the hips. So if you are new, you're going to do these without weights and very carefully. So this is what they're going to look like. We're going to do 6 per side. I'm going to turn around to the other side. Now, I've been working at these a while. They may be hard for you. I want you to get that butt down. If that feels uncomfortable to you in a bad way, you can just step to the side. That's your alternate. Okay, I don't know why I put those away. I was using those. That's my mind saying that we don't want to do that anymore. Guys, why didn't you stop me? All right, here we go. Side 6 times. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then the other side. Okay, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna go heavier on the next one. All right, I'm gonna get one of those back out that I just put away, and we're gonna do glute bridges, because let's activate those glute muscles a bit more. Okay, so glute bridges are gonna look like this if you're a beginner. Okay, if you are wanting to add weight, you can add weight on top of your legs. I'm going to try this, and we'll see. Guys are probably like, she's losing it today. She's losing it. Okay, ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. back a little stretch out while you're down here, because mine just feels like it needs it. Anybody else? All right. Let me get myself set back up again. Here I was thinking I was falling apart a little bit in here. How are you all feeling? Let me know in the comments. How are you guys doing today? Who's joining me? I think I have Darcy and sorry, I'm giving myself a little quick roll to release that tension before I go into the movement again. I know I'm going to roll after, and it's going to be extremely uncomfortable. It's the word of the day, isn't it? There's a little spot in here. There it is. Okay, you don't have to do this, but all right, we're going to go back to our lunges. We're only going to do 3 rounds of this set, possibly 2 of these. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. Okay, other side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. It's like I forget our next one. There's a little side lunges. I'm going to start this way this time. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I cheated. I needed to go back up there. No. All right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. And lastly, our glute bridges. This is going to be the last round of this set because my back needs to get rolled out before I do more of this stuff. Okay, glute bridges. This time I can't get that thing up on me again. Okay, ready? And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. All right. Rolling out the back a little bit. So rotating 4 times one way and 4 times the other way. Just kind of relieving tension in the lower back. Now I want to take this opportunity to, encourage you if anything ever feels off when you're working out, because it's hard for me on camera to know how your body's feeling, and how my body's feeling isn't necessarily how your body's feeling. because our bodies are different. And, you know, I want to encourage you to stop anytime something does not feel good and take a break. And if it's just really not, I mean, I'm not talking about uncomfortable like your muscles are burning, but uncomfortable like something doesn't feel right. I'm going to encourage you to stop, because you don't want to make it worse, and substitute it with something that's not bothering it, right? So you can always do something like bicep curls or step ups. So we're going to finish with core today. We're going to start with marches, because looking for something I want to lift here. I'm going to lift the 225s. Okay, so we're going to start with marches as one of our core exercises. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we're going to try something new, you guys. This is going to be really hard. Okay, but we're going to step like this. Okay, I lied. First, we're going to do around the worlds. Okay, so you're going to take your weight and you're going to go around your body like this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? Next up, we're going to save the hard one for later. We're going to do knee lifts. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. And we're going to do toe reaches. Grab a weight. If you like, weight is optional. Legs are up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Awesome. Okay, we're going to do that set again. One more round and then we're done. I want to thank you guys today for joining me. And I want to thank you for listening to me and honoring or humoring me in my chatter today. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. I think this morning I was struggling with some things mentally that I was trying to work through, and I always try to maintain a good outlook on everything, and not let that negative thinking spiral you, because what you think manifests, right? And so, you know, these things that I'm trying to work on, you know, it's so easy when everything around you looks like it's not coming together the way you want it to think that that is the way it is. And I firmly believe that once you start thinking like that, you're manifesting it, right? Because your actions will feed into that. And so this morning I was struggling to keep kind of that positive. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, So I was trying to figure out how to get rid of the negative thoughts and sometimes the best thing to do is speak them, get them out and move forward. And I did do that. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then, you know, I did that by way of my husband. My husband got to be my jumping ground, and he said the exact right thing I needed to hear, and, you know, then I came in here, and so it was me working through some stuff. And so anyways, I share that with you because, you know, if you're working through some stuff, just remember your thoughts are super powerful in how that situation turns out. 3, 2, 1, 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. All right, that is a wrap for today. Once again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for motivating and inspiring me all at the time. And I will see you all tomorrow.